Welcome back everybody. Today I'm going to be working on a pair of Eris Jordan 5s. On the surface these shoes don't look too bad, but under the surface they are not great. The worst part about these shoes are the midsoles, which have several problems. The paint on the midsoles are starting to crack and fade away in some areas. The midsoles also are starting to separate from the upper and outsole of the shoes, along with the midsoles starting to crack. The upper of the shoes are in very good condition for their age. The only issue is that it seems to be a little faded. The only other issue with the upper besides a little bit of fading is just a tiny bit of creasing on the toe box. The outsole of these shoes are in no better condition than the midsoles. They are heavily oxidized and heavily worn. Majority of the tread on the forefoot and heel of the shoe has been completely worn off. Since the Eris Jordan 5s have a rubber-like coating that goes over the upper of the shoe, I don't want to have the acetone cause any negative effects to it. This is why you can see me in this clip putting some tape on the upper of the shoes before I use acetone and heat to get rid of the original outsole. To start removing the midsoles and outsoles off the shoe, I'm going to go ahead and use my X-Acto knife to cut the stitching on the toe box. After I create some separation behind the toe cap of the shoe, I'm going to go ahead and use some acetone to melt the glue behind it so that it will separate from the upper of the shoe. To save myself some time, and since I will not be reusing these midsoles, I'm going to go ahead and take my X-Acto knife and cut the midsole into pieces and then take them off. Now with the bottom of the midsole removed, I'm going to go ahead and use my X-Acto knife once again and skive off the edges of the midsole that are still remaining on the upper of the shoe. If you made it to this point of the video and are enjoying it, it'd be greatly appreciated if you went ahead and liked and subscribed. Also, if you're interested in seeing more exclusive content from the Mile High Sneaker channel, go ahead and follow my Instagram and TikTok accounts. Now with the remaining bits of the midsole that are still left on the shoe, I'm going to go ahead and use my Dremel with a sanding bit to sand them off. Also, I'm going to go ahead and try and take a bit of the original glue off of the upper of the shoe so that when I go ahead and put new glue on the shoe, it will bond better. Now, while I wait for the donor shoes to come in, I'm going to go ahead and restitch a few holes that are in the sock liner of both shoes.
This is a Homage beat.
And finally, the donor pairs have shown up. Luckily, I was able to find another pair of Eris Jordan 5s in the same size with the midsoles in good condition. Here, I'm using my seam ripper to carefully pull out the toe cap stitching as I want to reuse this later on when I go to restitch the toe cap. Now with the donor soles removed, I'm going to go ahead and throw them into my icebox for 2 11-hour sessions just to clean them up a little bit. I also made sure to clean the outsoles with a stainless steel wire brush before I threw them in to get any dirt off of the outsoles. Now while the outsoles were in the icebox, I decided I was going to go ahead and experiment a little bit with the uppers of the shoes. These Jordan 5s have a camo pattern on the upper of the shoe that has a bit of a matte or satin finish to them, which looks very good in the light. But I decided to see how a high gloss and matte finish would look on the shoes. I put 2 coats of matte finisher on the bottom panel on the left shoe, and on the right shoe I put 2 coats of high gloss finisher. The high gloss really brings out the camo print, which I honestly like a lot and would do it to a personal pair of shoes, but these shoes do not have any sizes that would fit me. Unfortunately, the matte finisher seems to dull the upper of the shoe even more than the original finish on the shoe does. In the end, I did not put down the high gloss or matte finisher, even though I do like how the high gloss looks. Now with the soles deoxidized and out of the icebox, I'm going to go ahead and take off the bits of upper material that are still left on the donor midsoles, as it's the only thing holding back the factory uppers from fitting in them. Before I reglue the soles to the upper of the shoes, I'm going to go ahead and repaint parts of them. Here, I'm just using some 400 grit sandpaper to lightly scuff the midsole. Luckily, the bronze bits on the midsoles are in perfect condition, which I will not be needing to repaint. So I'm going to go ahead and repaint both the white and black parts of the midsole. After I sanded the midsoles, I went ahead and laid down 3 coats of white paint and black paint. And after that, I went ahead and finished it off with 2 coats of matte finish.
This is a Homage beat.